Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my first impressions and thoughts of a couple different Cara Beauty palettes. In my last video, I talked about my favorite eyeshadow palettes for spring, and I mentioned both of these palettes, and a couple of you in the comment section said you'd be interested in seeing me create a couple looks with these palettes, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's do it. So on this eye today, I've created a look with the Cara Beauty Flower After Hours palette, and this is the color story. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then the other palette that I created a look on this eye with is the Cara Beauty Life of the Fiesta palette. And here is the color story. It's equally as gorgeous. I did a little bit of research into Cara Beauty, and it sounds like they were founded in about 2018, at least that's when their trademark was registered. They're located in downtown Los Angeles. They carry a wide variety of just beautiful products, from sponges and brushes to obviously eyeshadow palettes, lashes, face products, face palettes. The one thing that really draws me into this brand is the packaging and the artwork on the front of their palettes. It is absolutely gorgeous. And they have a really cool thing where they have sets of palettes, like bundles. For instance, this is the Sugar Skull bundle. There's a summer bundle, there's a magazine bundle, and the artwork and the presentation of these palettes just gets me every time I see them. The cool thing is they do ship internationally with a few exceptions. Shipping rates typically within the United States, if you're purchasing anything from $40 and over, it's free. If it's less than that, it's $5.99 per order. And then for international shipping, it's $100 purchase or more is free shipping, and then under that would be $30 per purchase. So I mean, obviously that's an expense, but I do think that the prices of the products are really reasonable. And I'm lucky because they have these products at my local TJ Maxx. So I got these palettes, I think, for $6.99 a piece, which is just amazing. But really, the prices of their products is very reasonable, like I said before. And Cara Beauty constantly has sales on their websites. I would definitely keep an eye out for that. I have been super impressed with the palettes that I've tried for them thus far. I think I have 6 in total. I've gotten my daughter a couple. She loves them too. So if you're interested in seeing how I created both of these looks, please stick around, make yourself comfortable, and let's get started. Okay, so I've already done my brows, and I've primed my eyelids with the Covergirl Lid Lock and topped that with a little bit of Makeup Revolution translucent powder. And I'm gonna start off with my right eye. I'll be using this Cara Beauty palette. This is the Flower After Hours palette. And if you open it up, this is the color story. It is so vibrant, so pretty. And I think I'm gonna start off my transition shade with the second one, and it's called Stay Wild. And to do that, I'm gonna be using this Jessup 228 Luxe Crease Brush. It's there for you to see. Yes, my brushes are dirty, don't judge me. I don't think I've cleaned them in about 2 or 3 weeks, and they're all about ready to pack up and move out. Okay, so I'm gonna dip that in here, tap that off, and just apply it a little bit above my crease. Now I have hooded eyes, so I wanna go like in my crease, but yet a little bit above it, so that when I open my eyes, you can still see that shade after it's been put on my lid. So I'm just gonna start kind of applying that, just kind of tapping it on, and then kind of just wiping it back and forth, windshield wiper motions, a little bit of circular motions as well. Yeah, I like this color. I think it's really pretty. It's definitely orange. But the formula and the pigmentation seems really nice. Okay, I'm just gonna go back into that color one more time, tap that off, just to kind of make that a little bit more pronounced. I remember when I was really getting into makeup, I was lucky enough to find a creator by the name of Nikki Raven. If you don't subscribe to her, I think you need to stop this video immediately, go subscribe to her, and then come back. But I definitely encourage you to subscribe to her. She is just amazing, and she has this whole series, I think it's called Makeup 101, where she goes through, you know, different aspects of makeup and how to apply it and what the best way is. And she's just, she's amazing. I love that woman. She is absolutely beautiful, so talented, and she has the best sense of humor. She is hysterical. I just laugh so hard when I watch her. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good. I feel like I got enough of that shade on there that I feel happy. And keep in mind, it does look a little harsh kind of on the edge there, but I am going to use a different shade to kind of diffuse that and blend that out a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the outer V. I'm going to be using this BH Cosmetics brush. I have no idea. There's no number on this brush. And I think it just came with the BH palette. But I mean, most of us probably have a brush that's very similar to this, just kind of short, stubby blending brush. And I'm going to go into this red shade here. It's called Pick Me. Just dab my brush into there, tap it off. And then basically what I'm going to do is just start tapping that into the outer V. And then just kind of moving it around in little circles. And I want to bring that up just a little bit into the transition shade that I put down. Not a ton, because I don't want to lose all the orangeness that I put down. But I definitely want to have those two colors meld together so it doesn't look harsh or like there's a break in between the colors. I think that looks pretty nice. I'm going to put a little bit more on. Just go in and tap a little bit more of that off. And yeah, I think that looks really pretty. There's not a lot of kick up in the pan. I don't notice that really. I mean, you know, it's a powder, so of course it's going to kick up a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's too terribly much. So yeah, just kind of want to get it to where I think it looks pretty opaque, like there's enough color on the lid, which I think I have. And I think that looks really nice. What do you think? I like it. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab that Jessup 228 brush one more time. I'm gonna go back into that color just barely. And then I'm gonna go back over the edge of that outer V just to kind of get rid of any harshness and just make sure those two colors are nicely blended together. Okay, so I think that's looking very nice. It's all blended together. I don't see any problems. I don't see any patchiness. I don't know what the camera shows, but when I look in the mirror, I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to blend this orange shade out a little bit, and I'm gonna use this Luxie 205 blending brush, or, well, yeah, I guess it's a blending brush. Just kind of a flat-ended, kind of dense brush, but it's soft, and it moves around very easily. And these kind of brushes I find are really nice to use on mature skin because my eyelid will move around. That's why I set it in the beginning with the translucent powder. If I just go in with just primed eyelids, it's not a pretty sight because my skin just kind of goes But if I put some powder on it and use a softer blending brush, it just works very nicely and a lot easier. Okay, so I'm gonna use this top color here. Sorry if I'm blinding you with the mirror. It's called Sunflower, and I'm gonna just tap a little bit onto my brush, or put a little onto my brush and tap a little bit off. Whew. And then just kind of like, I don't know, 50% on, 50% off the edge of that orange color, and just blend. Again, just kind of going back and forth, circular motions. I think one of the things that I struggle with sometimes is knowing, like, when do you stop blending, you know? Because I watch some people that just blend and blend and blend, and then I watch other people that just don't blend as much, and I think that they have, you know, really pretty outcomes. So I don't know. I guess I just kind of decide, okay, that looks blended enough, and then I move on. I am going to add a little bit more of that color here, Sunflower. And just add a little bit more towards the outer edge of that orange color just to make sure that it's all nicely blended. Now this Luxie brush has quickly become my favorite I knew I was going to do that. Transition blending shade brush. If that made any sense at all. What I'm getting at is when I'm trying to blend out my transition shade, this brush is the one I always go for now. I had a few other ones and I don't know, I just started using this and that was it. So I highly recommend Luxie brushes. I really do want to get some more of them because I think they're amazing. Okay, so now let's start with the fun part here and let's go to the shimmers. So the brush I'm going to be using for my shimmer application is the Jessup 233 Cream Shader Brush here. And if you can see, it's kind of got a pointy end on it. It is pretty, you know, not flimsy. It moves around pretty easily, but it is pretty dense. So it's really easy to apply shimmers, and it's become my favorite shimmer applying brush I've ever owned. Okay, so let's start off with this yellow shimmer here. This is called Busy Bee. And I'm gonna take that over the majority of my lid. Starting off kind of towards the, ooh, wow. Towards the inner part of the lid, but not completely to the inner portion. And then just applying that onto the eyelid. That is absolutely gorgeous. Now, as you'll see, I am going a little bit above my crease because I have hooded eyes, and it's gonna transfer up there anyway. So it's pointless for me not to do that because it's going to end up there anyway. And I also have learned that if you take your shimmers a little bit higher than your crease, it does make your eyelids look a little bit bigger, which is a nice effect, I feel. Okay, so I think that went on very nicely. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to diffuse it just a little bit towards the outer edge of the eye, towards the outer V color, just so it's not a super harsh line. But yeah, I think that looks really nice. God, that's gorgeous. And there was a little bit of kick up in the pan, but nothing too crazy. And then I think what I'm going to put on the inner portion of the inner lid is this color right here. It's called Afterlife. So I'm going to put just a teeny tiny bit of that at the edge of the brush and just very lightly apply that, because I don't want it to be too overwhelming on the lid. I feel like if I put a lot of that white color down, it's gonna maybe be a little too much. But I love how that looks. Gosh, that's so pretty. I love it. Okay, so just make sure that shimmer shade is nice and evenly distributed through the crease, and then just tap that out just a little bit more towards the end of the where I laid the shimmer down. I mean, there's not like technical terms for what I'm doing, so just bear with me, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna go back and do a little bit more towards the outer V, just because you've kind of lost the definition there. So that color was Pick Me, and I'm gonna use the same BH brush that I used to put it down to begin with. And just put a little bit on, tap that off, and then I'm just gonna lightly tap that on. And then just kind of push it. Like salt and pepper. Sorry, that was really corny, but couldn't help it. Those of you that grew up in the 90s know who I'm referring to. Best female rap group ever. Okay, so yeah, I think that looks nice. It's diffused. I don't think it's too much. Maybe just a little bit more. But yeah, I think that looks really nice. So as you can see, or at least what I can see, is there isn't a big harsh line between the shimmer and then the matte color, the Pick Me shade. You just kind of want them to look seamlessly blended together. You could even put like a little bit of like brow bone highlight up there. Maybe, let's try that, shall we? Let's do it. So I think I'm gonna use this Jessup brush. This is the 234 Jessup brush. And I think I'm going to put this Afterlife shade, this white shimmer shade. I'm going to put a little bit of that at the end of the brush and just very lightly dust that under my brow. Ooh, that adds a nice touch. I think that looks really pretty. That looks really nice. That kind of gives the illusion that the eyelid's kind of higher or larger. I don't know. I don't know the right words, you guys. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, so I think that looks really nice. I am gonna just use the Luxie brush just a little bit to just kind of make sure that doesn't look harsh. And I think that looks pretty good for our first look. What do you think? I like it. Okay, so I am gonna clean up this up a little bit, and I'll come right back with the other palette. We'll do this eye as well. All right, now that the first look is finished, let's get on to the second one. I'm gonna be using the Life of the Fiesta Cara Beauty palette for this look. The color story is phenomenally gorgeous, I think. And I think what I'm gonna do is kind of focus more on the blues and greens of this palette. I thought I'd kind of do like a juxtaposition on each eye just to kind of show the varying shades that are in these palettes. And what I'll do is, initially I'm gonna start off with Let's see, let's do, how about Mint Vibe? Let's start off with that. And I'm going to be using, again, my Jessup 228 crease brush, and I'm just going to dip that into there. I did clean off my brushes with my little color switchy thing. So let's go ahead and start this. Oh, that's a pretty color. Ooh, this is a beautiful color. Wow. I love that. Now again, I'm doing this basically the same technique I did on the other eye, is just applying the shadow a little bit above in the crease and also a little bit above, just so that when I open my eye, you can definitely see that I have eyeshadow on my lid. I'm gonna put a little bit more on the brush. Now this shade definitely has a lot more kick up than the other palette did, definitely. But that's never really bothered me. I know some people kind of think that's annoying, but it really doesn't bother me. So I really like how this is going on. It's beautiful. It's very nice and very easy to blend, which that's one of the things I love about Kara Beauty palettes, is they're really easy to blend. So again, just laying down that transition shade, that's it. And then now I'm gonna go to the outer V. I think what I'm gonna use is this Poppin' shade. It's kind of a tealy bluish green. I think that's really pretty. And I'm going to clean off my brush. Thought I'd clean this one off, but I haven't. Okay. And I'm gonna be using that same BH Cosmetics brush that I used on the other eye. I'm gonna dip into that Poppin' shade, tap that off, and then just go in the outer V. Ooh, that's nice. The thing I like about these shades is that there's no real patchiness to them at all. They're really nice. And I think that's a gorgeous shade. Wow, that's really pretty. I'm just gonna put a little bit more of that on there, tap that off to get rid of the excess so we don't get any fallout on our face. And again, I'm just kind of pushing the shadow onto the lid and just slowly blending it into that transition shade above it so that there isn't any harshness to it. Just kind of all goes together seamlessly. And I'm sorry if I'm making a bunch of weird faces. My husband likes to make fun of the weird faces I make when I put my eyeshadow on. Like, he's like, honey, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so back into that Poppin' shade just a little bit more. Just want to make sure that that's nice and vibrant on the lid, which I think it's gorgeous. Now, I am going to take this in just a little bit into the crease, not much, but a little bit. And I just think this is so nice. Wow. I love how this palette's performing. Okay, and then I am gonna go back in with that Mint Vibe shade and just make sure that this is nice and diffused so it's not harsh looking. And then I think when I get done doing my eyeshadow, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Just kidding. Although really, I don't know that anybody would bat an eye at me with having two different colored eyelids. It's one of the things I love about where I live. Okay, so I think that that looks pretty darn good, pretty darn diffused, and doesn't look harsh at all to me. What do you think? Do you like it? I think it looks nice. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do now is apply a shimmer shade, and we're gonna go with this Shine On, no, I'm reading the wrong end. This is called Kickin' Fiesta. Okay, awesome. And I'm gonna use that same brush that I used before, that Jessup 233. I just love the way this applies shimmers. It's so nice. And just put, ooh, wow. That's really nice. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. A little bit over the crease here. Could not think of the word. Okay, and I am gonna go back with the BH Cosmetics brush and put a little bit more of that Poppin' shade down just to kind of really make sure that that shimmer is diffused and there's no harsh line, just like I did the last time. Or the other eye, I guess is what I meant. Okay. Oh, I just love this. I think it's so pretty. Now I am gonna add one of the glitter shades to this just to make it pop even more. And then I think what I'll do too is, because I love this Luxie brush so much, and just to make sure that that outer edge of this is nice and diffused, I think I'll just go in with a little bit of this, just a teeny tiny bit, and just make sure that that's really nice and diffused on the outer edge there. It's just kind of something that I've gotten the habit of doing now. Every time I do an eye look is making sure I go back with this Luxie brush at the end and just making sure that that outer, I just don't like to have a harsh line. It just, I don't know. I'll spend half the day in the bathroom looking at my face going, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Okay, so now I'm gonna take, this is a wonderful brush that I got on my Etsy, and I'm not exactly, it's Anticernus, I believe is the name of the brand, but it's just a really nice flat packing brush, and this works really well with glitters. So what I'm gonna do is apply this glitter here. It's called Cinco de Mayo, and I'm just gonna put that on my brush, get a nice layer of the glitter on there. And then what I'm gonna do is take this Wet n Wild Natural Finish Setting Spray and just spritz, give it a little spritz. And then I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to the lid. Oh, wow. Now when you spray it, it does help with the fallout. I am getting a little bit, but not bad. That is so pretty. I absolutely love Kara Beauty glitters. I think they're so nice. They're finely milled. I have never gotten them in my eye before. Now watch, that'll happen today. Make a liar out of me. But God, I think that is just so pretty. It's like having a disco ball on your face. Oh, wow. I love that. God, isn't that pretty? I love that so much. Wow. So nice. Ugh. So, so pretty. Okay. All right. So actually, let's put a little bit more glitter on, shall we? Okay. Just tap in there. Dip in there. Dip and tap. Those are going to be my two words I'm going to have a real hard time with. Dip and tap. Okay, let's go ahead and put some more of that on. Oh, that is so pretty. God, I love that. I love that. I just think that it looks so nice. And I think it looks really cool to have that kind of pink and gold reflect with that teal. I just think it looks so nice. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the actual eyelid looks. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of clean this up. I'm going to finish putting on my face, add some liner, my lower lash line, mascara, and the rest of my face products, and then I'll be back and show you the finished look. All right, I'm back and this is it. I thought I'd go over the products that I used on my face with you guys quickly. Also on my lower lash line, I basically just did the same thing that I did on my upper lid, just on my lower lash line. Rather than using an inner corner highlight, because I'm older and that area of my eye is a little bit wrinkly, and when I apply the inner corner highlight, it just kind of adds texture where I really don't want it. So instead, what I do is I take the shimmer that I used on my lid and just kind of pop it right here in the inner corner of my lower lash line, and I think that works perfectly. For my foundation today, I used the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the shade Y225. I got this in an Ipsy and I absolutely love it. I think this is perfect for mature skin. It's a very nice natural coverage and it just looks beautiful on the skin, and when I run out, I'm definitely going to be getting more. For my concealer, I use the tried and true Maybelline Age Rewind. This is almost gone, so I have got to get to the drugstore and get myself another little tube of that. For my blush, I use the Mavie Cosmetics Take the Risk blush, and I absolutely love this brand. I don't hear a lot of people on YouTube talking about them, but I'm hoping that I will hear more as time goes on, because I just think they make some beautiful products, and this blush is gorgeous. For my contouring and bronzing, I use the e.l.f. palette. I've had this for probably 2 years. I love it. I use it all the time. For my gloss, I use the Dose of Colors gloss in the shade Almond Butter. I kind of took advantage of the fact that I'm home today. I don't have to wear a mask, and luxuriated in some gloss. But if I was wearing a mask, that would be kind of pointless. But I love that gloss. It's very comfortable, and I think it's a really pretty shade. I didn't want to go too bold with my lips since my eyes are two different colors. I thought I'd kind of tone the lip color down a little bit. For my highlight, I use the IBY in Radiant Glow. I think this is such a gorgeous highlight, especially for people with mature skin like myself. It just provides a nice sheen to the face, but it doesn't emphasize texture or wrinkles. So I'm really happy that I got this. And then for my waterline eyeliner, I use the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner, an Icebreaker on this eye, sorry. And then I used extra frosting on this eye. I love these cream gel eyeliners. I think they're perfect. They stay on my waterline all day, which is unheard of. So highly recommend those. If you haven't tried those, I would definitely give them a chance. And then for my upper lid liner, I use the black felt tip liner from Estate Cosmetics. Love this liner so much. Got this one in a Nipsey as well. And it goes on really nicely. It dries down really nicely. And then it doesn't flake off at all during the day. For my mascara, I use the Essence Lash Princess. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, mascara. Probably the Benefit Roller Lash would be my favorite, but this is a wonderful option, and it's cheap. I get it at the drugstore for maybe $5 or $6, so I highly recommend picking these up. I think the wand is perfect. The formula is perfect. I love this. All right, so let's talk about these palettes. I absolutely had a blast playing with these. I think they are perfect. They're beautiful, they're pigmented, they're easy to blend. I don't have anything negative to say about either one of these palettes. The first one that I used was the Flower After Hours. Let's take a quick peek back at this color story. I just think this is so beautiful, so vibrant. I think it's perfect for spring and summer. I was really happy with the look that I created, and I'm really looking forward to using this a lot more within the next couple of months. And then the Life of the Fiesta palette that I used to create the look on the other eye. I think this color story is equally as gorgeous. I always have a tough time opening these palettes. Anyway, I think the color story is equally as gorgeous. I really enjoyed using the pressed glitter. It stayed right on my lid. It didn't fall all over my face. It didn't fall into my eye. So if you're nervous about using glitter, but you'd really like to give one a try, I definitely recommend this formula. I think it's wonderful. So yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about either one of those palettes. And I really hope that if you haven't tried Cara Beauty, that you'd at least consider it, because I think you'd be really happy with the eyeshadow palettes. I know they sell other products, and I have yet to try them, but if they're anything as good as these eyeshadow palettes, I definitely want to give their other products a try as well. So we have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day or evening to hang out and watch this. It really means the world to me, and I appreciate it so, so much. I am planning on filming hopefully once a week and getting it uploaded as quickly as I can. It's a little tricky with working full-time, fitting in time to edit and whatnot, but I definitely will be doing that. I think my next video is going to be an eyeshadow palette collection video, so I hope that you'll be interested in seeing that, and definitely be looking out for that. So anyway, again, thank you guys so much. I hope you're well. Please take good care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye.